What cost $115 million and only made back 1/10 of that?
$100 to whoever can guess it without
looking at the title. Yeah.
Close your eyes. Leave a comment.
It's newly released 2024 blockbuster hit Borderlands.
More like Boredom Lands.
Damn, I hate how good that one was, actually. That was pretty good.
Do you want to make that the intro?
No.
Oh, my goodness, though. So this is one of the few movies, because to be honest with you, we don't often start our videos without doing the intro. This is what I was going to say.
Very smooth.
This is Full-Time Movie Fans. You know this. You're here. You clicked on the video, hopefully because you want to be entertained and talk about, movies. I'm host Jarvis. This is host Michael.
A.K.A. the Phoenix King. I don't remember what it was.
Look, guys, I'm going to be honest with you right off the rip. I don't remember much of this movie. And what I was going to say before I didn't forget to introduce ourselves was that we watched a few of the movies we've reviewed together.
Yeah.
This is one of them.
Yeah.
And I don't remember a lot of it. And there's a reason, and I'm sure I'll let him tell you part of the reason why that is, but...
So... I'll give y'all the same introduction to the review that I've given to other people when they said, "Hey, how was Borderlands?" And I said, "Jarvis fell asleep in it." And they all went, "Oh, so that bad."
Boy.
And that's not to say that your taste in movies is bad. It's just that you'll watch pretty much anything.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I'll give there's a few things that I definitely would not choose to watch and haven't chosen to watch on purpose, but yeah, I mean, especially if it's like a friend who's like, "Hey, I want to go watch this movie. Will you come with me?" Oh,
yeah,
sure, man. Like, I have no desire to see it, but I'll watch it with you.
How many movies do you think you've fallen asleep in the theater watching?
Oh man, I mean, on less than, less than 5. I mean, I couldn't even count. Maybe 2 or 3. To where I was like, this just is not.
And that's just a guess because you can't think of the ones on the top of your head, huh?
Maybe more. Maybe I just can't remember them because I was asleep.
Fair enough.
No, but I do know that.
Maybe they're like the 4th time into game night.
Nope. Nope. I will rewatch that movie and I will stay awake the whole time.
Every time?
Yes, every time.
Sleep deprived?
Nope. Just it's a great movie.
Okay.
I will die on that hill.
All right.
One of the last full real comedies.
Oh, the last bastion of comedy is game night.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the last bastion of comedy is apparently Borderlands.
Oh my gosh!
God help us all. So, Jarvis, go ahead and do you want me to do my first impression, or do you want to do yours first?
I mean,
because we kind of know half of it. I had to wake him up. Like something very plot crucial happened, and I look over, and I did one of these. I went. And he was asleep.
Eyes were closed.
He missed the entire
Breathing heavy.
It was an important scene.
And I don't know what it was.
I mean, it was important to the point where, like,
I guess
you
I'll find
saw
out
what happened 5 seconds afterwards anyway. So,
and I still don't remember, so you'll have to surprise me with this review. I mean, to be honest with you, crazy cast. I'll start off with that. Like, Kevin Hart, Kate Blanchett, like...
Jack Black.
Dude, and she's won awards.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes, also, she won an award for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Best Supporting Actress, right?
Yeah, they actually shot this movie before that one.
Did they really?
Isn't that a crazy?
Oh, my
We'll talk about that, too.
Yeah.
So Jamie Lee Curtis was not an Oscar award-winning actress before they made this movie, which is why they didn't have her like in the trailers as a Academy Award winning Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that she got a better movie role and got recognition for it.
That would have been bad.
I'm glad that happened before. Everything Everywhere All at Once happened before Borderlands.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but The thing about it, like visually, it's cool. There's a lot. It's a star-studded cast, but it's one of those movies for me that the best way I can describe it is just it's a flat line. There's no peaks. There's no emotional like things that get me excited, or that there's no mystery that intrigues me. Like it was very, in my opinion, boredom land.
Is that your full?
Yeah, I mean,
Would you recommend it?
I mean, and I'm the kind of guy that would say, "Hey, watch everything once and come up with your own."
Yeah.
Decide for yourself. But I can't honestly recommend this, and I would feel bad if you spent money on a ticket and spent whatever the runtime is for this, because you'll never get that time or money back.
1 hour 41 minutes.
If you have one of those passes that accumulates points and you can watch it for free, feel free to do that, I guess. But otherwise, I can't. I can't recommend.
In the same like month that you could go watch Deadpool and Wolverine.
Exactly. Or I heard Twisters was really good.
Yeah, Sybil wants to go see that.
I was told that I need to go watch that in theaters before it goes out, so I might do
okay.
that tomorrow.
Okay. I might go do that tomorrow too because somebody else can't go. I'm just kidding. So don't watch the movies. What you're saying?
There's something better in the theaters. I guarantee it. I mean, this movie could be out all year, and you're gonna.
What if this movie was in the theaters at the same time as the Emoji Movie? You had to pick one.
Oh my goodness. I think I would still watch Borderlands just because it's not just a giant billboard for product placement, and I could at least get a good nap in.
Fair point.
All right, so your turn. First, your impressions.
All right, so
we talked a little bit after the movie, as we usually do.
It was a hot Saturday afternoon.
Oh,
scorching,
blistering hot here in San Antonio.
I'll give some more background. I've played some of the first Borderlands game. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's I feel like the game really like, and the whole franchise as a whole got its reputation for its crude humor, shock value, whatever. Which at the time it was fine.
Doesn't sell.
Right.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Which would fit, and they marketed the movie kind of like a rip-off Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Which kind of made sense.
Without all the good stuff.
Because it's like a ragtag team of like ne'er-do-wells and that's what the games were too. It's just a bunch of people doing things selfishly for themselves, and they have to like band together for stuff. So it like the concept was there, and it made sense. The games I didn't enjoy very much. That's just me. I don't like shooter story games unless it's BioShock Infinite.
Oh,
that one, by the way,
great game.
Great game.
We'll review that game on Full-Time Gaming Fans.
Perfect. I knew that was coming. Great joke. I'll review that on Full-Time Stand-Up Comedy Fans. So I came into it knowing a little bit. I don't know a lot about the lore of Borderlands because I'm not very interested.
The lore of Borderlands?
The games apparently actually have some pretty solid story in the later ones, specifically the third game.
It's a bore like lore. They rhyme.
Thank you for thanks for explaining the joke. People always know that makes it funnier.
Yeah, people love when I do that. They tell me in person, we love when you do that thing, and I'm like, okay, I'll keep it coming. So
we did end up watching this movie because I wanted to. And I wanted to because I kept on seeing terrible reviews for it.
Remember when I said that there's movies that I wouldn't choose to watch my own, but if a friend asked me to watch them, I would
this was it.
This was that movie.
This was that.
I was talking about this.
I said I need to go see this because I'm a huge fan of bad movies.
Yeah.
And I mean like bad movies like they're so bad it's fun.
Yeah. Was this one so bad it was fun?
No, it was fucking boring.
It wasn't so bad that it circumvented badness and came back to good. It just stayed on the bad side.
It's like if you were to, in the same like vein of crude humor, shock value, took Deadpool and Wolverine, but they never did anything interesting. And anytime they fought, it was like they like were upset with each other for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they just started shooting a bunch of dudes with no stakes at all. And then they just moved on to the next thing.
And every joke was like a farter butt joke.
Yeah. Except they didn't even have those in this movie. It was just, wow, this person's annoying. Let's point out how annoying they are. Anyways.
And I'll make a quick point to say that I've never played any of the Borderlands games. I think I've seen people play Borderlands, but that's my extent of it. So my point of view is coming from like a pure, like, I don't know anything about that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you were fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, from what I hear...
Fresh after my nap, I felt great.
You actually got a better version of the movie than I did. But
my body refused to have all those minutes taken away, so it took a few of them back and when I took a nap.
So I feel like we got a really good spectrum here of somebody who's never actually been interested in the story, doesn't know anything about the story as a whole. Somebody who knows a little bit, like enough to go in and be like, yeah, that's the Borderlands.
Yeah.
And then we got like a lot of people online who are diehard Borderlands fans that are like, this movie is the worst thing to ever happen.
There was actually, I will say this, after we got out of the theater, as I usually do, I went straight to the bathroom. And
that was your favorite part of the movie?
And that was my favorite part. When I took that dump, it reminded me of the movie that I just saw. No, actually what I was going to say was there were some other people that came from the theater, and while I was in the stall, they were at the urinals talking, and they're like, oh man, you know, it really got the feel of the games, but... And they had some critiques.
Did not get the feel of the games.
And I was just like...
It did not get the feel of the games at all.
Random bathroom dude, you know
yeah.
what I mean? As I what's it called? Eavesdrop on your conversation?
Yeah. I think the thing that got the game's feel of it the most was Claptrap, which you thought was annoying.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where...
And you're right. That's like the point of Claptrap, is to be annoying.
I mean, Jack Black was great.
Yeah. And
loved it.
And all of the best jokes were Claptrap, in my opinion.
For some reason, it was that it felt like that it's that guy that you know that's funny when he's not trying to be, but when he tries to be, it's really annoying.
Yeah.
And that's what Claptrap
that is
was.
what Claptrap is.
And so I was like, dude, this guy's annoying. And it's like, it's one of those things like, if you're just yourself, man, you're like super cool, like, and you're actually hilarious. But I felt like he was trying the whole time. So I didn't, that's how it came off to me. I was like, I was not a fan, but I was a fan of Jack Black and the work that he did.
It was a good performance. It was a good performance.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Jack Black and everything, which we're going to have to do Nacho Libre at some point.
Okay. Yeah, because that's the only thing Jack Black's ever done.
No, but it's one of my favorite movies with him.
We'll do Shallow Hal.
Be like, get that corn out of my face.
Bad one.
Oh, that
Shallow Hal's not a good.
It hasn't aged very well.
That one is a so bad it's funny movie for me. The Borderlands is not. Borderlands is.
You know what? If Borderlands was a person, and they walked into this room, you know what I'd tell them?
What?
I would say, get out.
Okay, so go back to the Get Out review and add that to the counter, guys. That one counts because we're in the same sitting. I'm wearing the same shirt. It's the same hour. Still warm in here. Don't watch this movie. That's my impression. I wish I could tell you to. Actually, if you're like a diehard Borderlands fan and you want to hate something for a couple hours, go watch the movie.
Yeah, and this is.
Oh, well, actually, let me retract a little bit of that. Don't do this. Do this. Pirate the movie. Don't do that. Do that.
What I was going to say is this is coming from the guy who was like, dude, you need to watch the Emoji Movie. Like, you should watch this.
It did come from the
if
guy
you
who said
ask him
watch
to
the
this day,
Emoji Movie.
Should I watch the Emoji Movie? He will say yes. And he will not say yes to Borderlands, and that's saying something.
Yeah. Emoji Movie served a purpose. Borderlands did not.
Yeah.
And the purpose of the Emoji Movie was to give us a better movie.
You know what? I'll take it as a positive. It's something we got to experience together, which I'm always down for.
I
love experiencing things with you.
So let me break down this story, if you could call it that.
I would hesitate to.
Because, there's a whole lot of nothing happening. So you got Man, I'm just gonna breeze through this. Are you okay with that?
Please. Oh my gosh, the faster the better.
So I'm gonna skip the entire intro part where
I joked that this is going to be our first YouTube short.
yeah, it was gonna be a 1 minute review. So this billionaire philanthropist who's not a philanthropist, Atlas, his daughter, what was her name? Tina, gets abducted by one of his henchmen and disappears onto this vagrant planet full of Neanderthals, and just
It's a waste.
terrible people. Yeah. And so he hires Lilith, a bounty hunter, to go and find her.
Played by Kate Blanchett. She's a badass.
Yeah, but she also, like, Lilith in the games is like a 22-year-old woman. So there's that for you. So is Jamie Lee Curtis's character Tanis is also supposed to be like a 20-year-old woman. So Lilith goes, "No, Bucko, I don't want to do that. I hate that planet." And he went, "Money?" And she went, "Oh, well, I guess if it's for money."
She's like Mr. Krabs. Money.
Yeah, money. Why would you go back to the planet you hate? Money. So she goes.
She is kind of crabby.
She is very crabby. She goes, hates being there, complains about it a lot to herself.
Yeah.
Some fan service stuff happens. All of the dialogue feels like it was like a direct quote from one of the games, just like thrown in for some reason. And they're like spliced together to like only kind of make sense. So we get a lot of background about vault hunters. There's a lot of vault hunters on the planet trying to find the vault. And
Very
Lilith
subtle.
doesn't care at all.
Very subtle about where the movie was going to end up.
Right, yeah. Like, oh, they're vault hunters. And so Lilith's like, yeah, I'm here to find a kid. Lilith finds the kid and Claptrap. Claptrap actually finds the kid, let's be real.
Finds her, too.
And finds her, yeah.
I remember that.
And finds himself. Aw.
Oh,
And
cute.
And Tina doesn't want to be found. She knows that her dad's a piece of shit person and doesn't want to go back to him. And the person who kidnapped her is now trying to like give her salvation through whatever. Well, I'll get to it in a second. Kevin Hart, who is the last person that I would ever expect to play a very serious like soldier dude.
Yeah, I will say that I did like that. I'm glad that he got to be a kind of a cool badass. That was
but
was cool.
I don't know if it worked the way they wanted it to. But again, you don't know the series, so it's a fresh take.
What series? What movie are we talking about?
Fair enough.
Where am I?
This is the Emoji Movie 2.
Awesome. My favorite.
Borderlands. There was a lot of advertising, but it was all for fake in-game companies. So,
Yeah.
the Knights of Ren show up and go, "We're gonna take Tina back," and they all go, "No," and then Lilith ends up with the ragtag team, and then there's a scene where they're like, "She's a spy. She's here to take you away," and she goes, "No, I'm not, Buster, and I'm here if you don't like it or if you like it or not." And he goes, "Okay," which was really cool. That was a really cool moment that amounted to nothing.
Yeah.
They go through a piss swamp. That does happen.
Was that the part I fell asleep in?
No, you fell asleep way later than this. They drive through a worm. That's cool.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay.
I am making this movie sound a lot more interesting than it was.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what I was going to say? I was like, I literally have no memory of the piss swamp. And then I remembered that the annoying kid opened the window and they all got pissed on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then Kevin Hart said a thing where he said, "Great, now there's piss all over the middle of my car," which was a really funny line, delivered almost exactly like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great one-liners in this movie. I just don't know where they were. How did Kevin Hart do that? Yeah, I have no idea. Well, I do have a small idea, but I'll get to that later. They get away from the fucking guys that are. They have flying machines, by the way. The people coming after them, but they don't follow them because they can't fly if they don't have ground coverage. Is what we were told.
Think that would be an advantage that flying machine over people
who are driving.
Yeah, but apparently not.
No, it's not.
Not in Borderlands.
No, and then we learned that Tina and Roland's goal is to open the vault and
No
take
way.
whatever
Open the
whatever her
vault?
dad's trying to get from him.
What's in the vault? What's in the
What's in the
vault?
box? What's in the vault? And so we get a lot more background. There's apparently there was an alien race that lived on the planet long before
Ooh.
people came about and
So mysterious.
had massive super cool technology, but then locked it away in a vault and left one savior of their people to protect the planet. And they believe that Tina, this kid,
Just
is
talking about this movie.
is the
reminded me
is
how-
the key.
Woo.
To opening the vault or whatever, but they need 3 keys and they have one of them and they have to go get the other one. But how do they do that? They got to go find Jamie Lee Curtis because Jamie Lee Curtis exists. And some other stuff happens. It doesn't really matter.
It really doesn't.
They keep on getting hunted down. Bobby Lee's in this for some reason for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he gets... So the next part of the movie happens, and they go into this weird cave where there's a bunch of scarier dudes in there, and they have to go find another key to the vault. And they go in and they get past the scary dudes, and then they go into a room where there's a bunch of boxes that are closed, and they go, well, the key is in here somewhere. It's going to take us maybe days to find it. And then Lilith finds it in 17 seconds.
We may never find it.
Right, and this is supposed to be foreshadowing.
Cut to her finding it.
Right, Lilith finds it, and they go, wow, how'd you do that so fast? And she goes, I don't know, I just did.
I was drawn to it.
It wasn't even that. She was just like, yeah, I just found it. It was crazy. And then they're getting chased by the psychopaths, which have a name that aren't psychos because the psychos are above ground and the other psychos are below ground. I don't know, guys. I don't know. The games probably make more sense.
The more underground.
Oh, she says, Sybil's saying no. Her brothers played it a lot. She also played it with them. So they get out, and Roland stays behind to fix an elevator, but then the elevator's going too fast, and they're gonna die. But then they don't because they get teleported because Tina is the Phoenix Force or some shit. I don't remember. But Tina is like, oh, I don't know how I did that, but Lilith's over there throwing up. What's that all about? Who knows? And then Atlas sends some drone to find Lilith and be like, I know that you're not gonna give me my daughter, but I'm tracking you down. Ha ha ha. And then Tina turns and goes, you're a traitor. You're sending him straight to my dad. Yeah, Tina Turner. And goes, get away from me, Lilith. I don't trust you anymore. And Lilith goes, no. And then they leave without her. And then Lilith goes back to her hometown, or they're in her hometown for some reason. This is when you were asleep, by the way.
Oh,
this
okay.
is what you missed. They walk into her house,
unfamiliar.
and Claptrap sees a drawing on the floor, and he has a seizure, which does the R2-D2 thing, where Lilith's mom shows up and goes, help us, Lilith 1 Kenobi, you're our only hope. And then Lilith goes, oh man, I'm the Phoenix Force. And so and then we have the showdown where Tina's going to open the vault with everybody else, but Tina can't open the vault because she's not the key, because Lilith's the key. And her dad shows up and goes, thank you, Tina. You're such a great daughter. Thank you for finding the vault. I'm going to be taking this now. And then Lilith shows up and goes, you
Not on my
leave
watch.
my friends alone, and we'll be fine. And they go, no, and she starts attacking
with
them.
yes.
Yeah, she counters with yes, and they go, nuh-uh, and she goes, uh-huh. And then
they're like, well, why won't you stop fighting us? She's like, well, because I gotta.
Yeah, and then Atlas goes, if you open the vault, they can all go free. Sure, why not? Which is totally believable. And so she opens the vault, but surprise, she wasn't opening a vault. The Iridians delivered them a champion. Oh, shit, I forgot my favorite line. Before that happened, Tina was like, no, don't do it. You're giving him exactly what he wants. And Lilith turns to Tina and goes, don't worry. memories are more powerful than any weapon he can make with what's in there.
You know what? I was gonna
Which
say
is the craziest fucking line in the whole movie, and I lost
Maybe
my
in
shit.
history.
I lost my shit.
I do
Travis can
remember
attest to it. I just looked at him and I was like, "What's happening? Who said anything about memories? What are we talking about? Why you're like an hour ago you weren't anything to these people. Now you're calling them your friends. What's happening?"
Dude, I was literally about to say, I am so impressed that you can remember anything about this movie. And then when you said that line, I was like, oh yes,
Yeah.
I do remember how
That was a great
and I only remember that because
Because it was
it
so
sent
funny.
you, dude. It sent you from like 0 to 100.
Yeah,
like,
no, that was my breaking point. The whole movie was just bad, and then that happened, and I was like, no, this is great. So I changed my mind. Watch the movie just for that part. It was worth it.
or just watch that clip on YouTube.
Yeah, true.
and
Fast forward.
still
to
save
just
yourself
that.
the time.
You won't even miss any context. There is no context.
What was the line again?
Don't worry. Memories are more powerful than any weapon he can make with what's in there. I believe that's the exact quote. It's crazy line. So anyway, she opens the vault and becomes a phoenix.
That's almost on par for me with the Dead Speak.
The Dead Speak, yeah. That's actually, you were very right. The Dead Speak is a great comparison. That's from the Rise of Skywalker.
episode.
That's the very first thing when the title crawls up. Is
Yep.
The Dead Speak. Emperor Palpatine's back somehow is basically how it starts. That is very on par.
Yeah, the same. It's giving the same energy.
Yeah. And so Lilith turns into a god, I guess, and just starts blasting at dudes
Yeah,
and
she
takes
has
down an
energy
Imperial
wings.
Star Destroyer.
Yeah, she has energy wings now, and she can
Yeah.
fly. And
Gives everybody massive like super shields or whatever.
yeah,
They all still almost lose anyway for some reason. And then she gets her power to believe in herself back, and everybody goes, "We do believe in Lilith. We do." And then she takes down the Imperial Star Destroyer, like I say.
Yep.
And then Atlas goes, "Stop this, Lilith. Take me to the vault." And she goes, "Okay," and then takes him into the vault and then leaves him there. And that's the movie.
Yeah.
And then they all get swarmed
she
up.
traps him in the negative zone
Yeah.
because that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Man, whew.
And she was right. Memories are more powerful than any weapon he can make with what's in there.
My memories have never saved me from anything
Oh my
except
God.
from having a good day.
That has to be probably one of my best recollections of a story plot that we've
Yeah.
had.
Yeah,
That's great. So yeah, what was your favorite part?
my favorite part was when you heard that line and started laughing and had the best time of your
Swear,
life
it's
for
like
30
5. Yeah, it was like
seconds.
like 15 seconds of absolute bliss.
Of it. Yeah, that was my favorite. I enjoy seeing people have fun.
My
and be
favorite
happy.
moment was that, and also waking you up after you missed the like crucial plot twist of the movie.
Man, was it crucial? Because
I mean, it wasn't vaguely telegraphed, and also like didn't matter.
yeah, that's what I mean, dude.
And Tina's like whole thing was like, I'm special because I'm the key to this thing, and then she wasn't, and then
So
the
she
way
was
that got
literally-
resolved was Lilith going, "Don't worry, Tina, you're still special," and she went, "Oh, okay."
she's literally a spoiled brat. Was not a fan of.
Yeah, she's also annoying.
Yeah,
But all of them are supposed to be like over the top annoying. And
they
you're supposed
succeeded.
to love them all like a dysfunctional family, like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I gotta tell you,
And it did not do that.
I gotta tell you, I have a dysfunctional family, and it's anything but fun.
Would you rather have a time with your family or
I'd
watch
probably
the
rather have
Borderlands
dinner with
movie?
my family.
That's saying something. That's really saying something.
Because there is an odd chance that it might be okay, and also there's food there, which I guess there was food at the movies where we're at. But yikes, this movie, it's definitely a thing that happened in our history.
The popcorn was pretty good.
Popcorn's great,
Yeah.
very great. It was buttered nicely.
So do you want to know what happened? You want to know what happened in this movie?
I'm dying to know what happened in this movie.
So this.
So he's about to explain to us what he thinks caused this movie to be as bad as it was.
This and I'm speculating on some of it and have like some vague confirmation for
let's
some.
Call it you're making an educated wish about what happened.
This is not even a wish. It's definitely a guess. My educated wish is that this movie actually turned out decent. That's my educated wish.
Maybe in a different alternate universe.
So the production company, the main one that took over making this movie, got the rights from the game developer, 2K, in Gearbox. And the purpose was to make a very faithful to like the lore of the game's movie that could bring in a new audience as well. Even though the game's last iteration was like 10 years ago, I want to say. And so they announced this movie like being made in like 2020-ish.
Yeah.
So like at the time that they announced movies, just for you and whoever's watching that aren't familiar with some of the process.
Yeah.
They only announce movies after a script has been made and they have funding and they like are about to start production. Right? So 2020, things are like well into gear. It's not like hey, we're probably going to make this someday. It was like a definite, like they're doing it. So they shot the movie.
They obviously didn't kill it.
They obviously didn't kill it.
They didn't
No.
put it down. Like
and I should also say, like the regular turnaround time for a movie is like 8-9 months, and that's long for a production. From like having the script to having it completed and in a theater is like 9 months. Yeah.
Is that the average?
That is the average.
9 months.
Yeah, it's usually like 6 to 9 months.
Everything Everywhere All at Once made a better movie in less than 40 days in a cave with a box of scraps.
In a cave with a box of scraps. James Gunn made Guardians of the Galaxy basically in a cave with a box of scraps.
And it's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal.
All three
movie.
of those movies are great.
Yeah, classics.
Yeah.
Instant classics.
Instant.
And so, obviously, something went wrong after production was done. They shot everything because they had to go in and do rewrites and reshoots for a bunch of stuff. Like they just couldn't agree on things. And I don't know who they are, but it's very likely the Eli Roth, the writer director, and the execs, because Eli Roth. I was telling you,
it's usually the battle, the tug of war.
Yeah, well, you have to imagine he's fighting between like 4 different companies. It's Lionsgate, who's funding the movie, Gearbox, 2K, and
on the rights.
Yes, yeah, and then I think there was another one that I can't. There's another one that I'm not remembering. So being pulled in like 4 different directions while trying to make this movie, like a decent movie, is going to be very hard. And Eli Roth is not like a very extremely well-known dude. He's made a lot of grindhouse movies.
Yep.
Which, as I was telling you, is Eli Roth is one of the key inspirations for Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
And Eli Roth got a part in Inglourious Bastards because of that.
Which is a great movie.
Yeah. Eli Roth,
Borderlands is not.
for people who like psychological thrillers, he wrote and directed Hostel, if you remember that one from the early 2000s. He also wrote and directed Borderlands, unfortunately, and I'm sure he agrees with that. But the what is the production company's name? The lead exec at I don't think it's Lionsgate, but what the company that specifically is producing this movie was telling people that it doesn't matter if this movie flops or not. It's not going to affect their production company at all. And then, like, the same day turned around and said that, like, come on, guys, a lot of people worked very hard on this movie. You should go see it just to support them, which is always a good look.
Can I tell you something? There was a movie that I watched and supported it because I respected the work that they did on the film.
Yeah.
And you know what movie that was?
We don't have an ending.
Sonic the Hedgehog, but also that we don't have an ending. But Sonic the Hedgehog. Can I tell you why?
Why?
Because when they released the first looks at what Sonic was going to be, and the fans rightfully critiqued and said, that's weird looking.
Yeah.
That does not look like Sonic. That's not my Sonic. They spent so much extra money to go through and make it right, and it actually turned out to be a great movie, and I enjoyed it.
It is a great movie.
Loved it.
I also have a hot take on that movie, so maybe we should review that one too.
Maybe, yeah.
I have a good hot take on that one.
But that was a movie that they were like, hey, you should, like, I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it because I respect the fact that they listened, and they weren't too proud to say, sorry, we already made the decision. We're going to go through it anyways, like it or not.
Yeah.
We don't care about you guys.
It would have been really bad.
Yeah.
And now they're getting a third one.
So
which I'm very excited about.
And I'm going to support that movie too, because respect. But this,
I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about that if we if we do the movie,
Yeah.
and you won't know what we're talking about until that happens.
We're going to talk about it right after this.
Anyways, so this movie got stuck in production hell, being tossed back and forth between the execs, I believe, in the studio and the director, all trying to fight for control over it. And eventually, it landed on a, hey, we can either do it like this or not at all. And at that point, they spent $115 million, so should probably release it, try to get some money back on it, you know? And that's what I believe happened.
And how much has it made?
Almost $16 million.
Yikes. Yikes. That is not even close to what they spent on it.
Yeah, and I'm going to say for $115 million, where did it go?
Not to the script.
No.
Say that much.
No. You want to know what? Writing, in my opinion, even though it shouldn't be like this, is the cheapest part of making a movie.
Yeah, because they don't pay script writers enough.
That is correct. They don't pay. Well, they also don't pay for rights as much as they should, or residuals, which the Writers Guild is working on, and support your local writer, I guess, because they should get residuals for the thing that they made from absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
On every project, I don't care what it is. Every project, the writer should get residuals for it.
Yeah,
like hands down,
if they can,
or the writers. Eli Roth should be getting residuals for this movie. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow for you, Jarvis.
I feel very indifferent about everything regarding this movie.
That's so sad. It was very boring. I feel like my breakdown of it was much more interesting than the movie actually was. It just slugs from beat to beat. It just does nothing.
To be honest with you, when we were going back and forth where the guy was like, hey, man, stop fighting. And she was like, no. And he was like, you totally should. And
she was
basically
like, how it went.
I liked that version better, to be honest with you. If that is how it went, I would not have fallen asleep.
Let me just bring this point to light. I went through the entire plot of the movie without mentioning one specific member of the crew, Krieg. And that's how important he is.
Yeah.
And he's there, like, most of the movie. Has a great moment, I think, if the character had been developed better at the end, where he's fighting some dude much, much bigger, much stronger than him, and wins by his own power.
Yeah,
which is really cool. That's really I'm a sucker for. Sybil thinks it's silly. I'm a sucker for somebody who is supposed to be weaker and frailer than the person that they're fighting against, and then they just sock him in the mouth. One good punch to the face is like that. I'm a sucker for that. It is the anime effect, is what she calls it.
Yeah. You got a weird thing about socks and mouths.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand.
I love it when
the
hero puts their sock in the villain's mouth. And that's what happens in this movie.
I'm sure that's an effective way to throw off your mortal enemy.
Yeah.
Is put your sock in their mouth.
That's actually an anime coming out in the next few months. It's called Sock Mouth. Am I lying? Look it up. Am I lying?
We'll save that review for full-time anime fans.
I think that we ended up being right about the time on this one, Jarvis, because there is nothing else to talk about. This movie's bad. Should you buy it on DVD? No.
This is going to get the rank of do not watch.
Is it better or worse than the Emoji Movie?
This movie, here's what happened. This movie stormed its way into our council chambers and demanded the title of rewatchable. But we do not grant you the title of rewatchable. We grant you the title of do not watch. And you're going to be happy with it.
I don't know what this reference is, but yeah.
This is a Star Wars reference.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Sorry, Star Wars fans.
Because Anakin wanted the title
of
Jedi Knight.
Right.
And they're like, we do not grant you the title of Jedi Knight.
And then he killed a bunch of kids.
Yeah. But they're like, well, you can kind of... You can have the responsibilities, but you don't get the raise.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You can do all the things that we do, but you do not get
Well, if that was the case, they would have given him the title, just not the money.
Well, I don't know. Whatever they gave him or didn't give him, he was not happy with it.
Yeah, just like this movie was supposed to give us a good time, and it did not.
It didn't. I was just short of demanding my money back.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not really. But I feel like
So, another fun
it's not
fact.
the theater's
Another fun fact. Did you know that if you demand a refund on your ticket for a movie, it does not hurt the movie theater?
Oh, really?
Because the box office money goes to the studios.
Oh,
which is why food is always expensive at a movie theater.
which I spent money on food. So
Yeah,
and a drink.
and you would not have asked for a refund for those.
No.
So if for some reason you actually don't like a movie, ask for a refund for the ticket because that's an actual thing.
If you don't heed our warning and you go and watch,
It
this
hurts
movie,
the billionaires. That's all it does. Well, it also hurts the people who are supposed to be getting residuals for the movie too. But like, let's be real.
Not the writers because they don't get those yet.
Right. Well, they do sometimes,
Okay.
just not often enough. All right. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, literally, that's it. I mean, I almost had nothing to add to this review, just like Borderlands had nothing to add to my life.
Yeah.
So
What Borderlands did
even
for your
Borderlands.
life was aged you an hour and 41 minutes.
Yeah, but
Unpleasantly.
I got to get some beauty rest in there.
Yep.
So
And you're glowing from it.
thank you.
You
I
know
think
that?
that's just sweat, but
Yeah, I don't know why it's so warm in here.
it's because I give off a lot of body heat.
It's probably because of my nerves from the last review.
Yeah. Also, talking about this movie just makes me angry. And
Oh,
when I'm angry, I
we
give off
don't
heat.
like it when you're angry.
No, but I also give off body heat.
I'm going to stop referencing other movies in this review and say thanks for watching, like, and subscribe.
The only way for me to get through this movie is by referencing other movies.
Jarvis, say you know what time it is.
It's full-time movie fans time.
He still doesn't get the reference. It's fine.
Oh,
You just say it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
oh yeah. I do watch that show. Instead of spinning the wheel of mythicality,
Everyone stopped watching already, Jarvis.
Yeah,
Everyone's
okay.
gone. Everyone's
All right,
gone.
well, thanks for watching, and this was Full-Time Movie Fans, and I'm Jarvis, and this is Michael, and
And
we
thanks
hope-
for coming to our review for Borderlands. Jarvis, what were your first impressions?
he's doing the thing that he always does. Classic Michael. This is the end of the review, and we're signing off. We hope that your day is everything you dreamed of being more. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you come and see us in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And Jarvis,
And Jarvis.
memories are more powerful than anything he can make with what's in there.
And Michael, Glarp can always be found.
Glarb can always be found.
And with that, see you next time.
Hey. You look good over there.
Look real good.
We thought about sharing your kindness with others.
Share the love.
Maybe like the video. Click on that subscribe button. And show your friends.
Yeah, just touch it ever so lightly, that like button. Move over to the subscribe button. Maybe tap your keyboard just a little bit. Leave a comment. Bye.
That's it.